Team pick.
And we're back, everyone. We're ready to start things off. It's going to be game number 1 here in our final series, day number 2. NiP going to be taking on Asus.Polar. Well, we all felt pretty unanimous that VP.Polar were the favorites coming into this one. So what else is there to really say? NiP, they're looking to make a name for themselves. They're outgoing group. They're lovable, likable, but do they got what it takes to take down this Titan group?
It's a team you want to cheer for. They're friendly guys. Era just immediately comes up to me, like when he first saw me. He's like, "Oh, how you doing? How you been? Like, what's been going on lately?" I'm like, "You want to cheer for them? You want them to do well, but the truth is they're the heavy underdogs in this series. But hey, sometimes being underdogs can go in your favor. Less pressure on your back, less expectations, and the fact that they were just in good spirits. It's Asus.Polar who are expected to go deep in this tournament. For them, there's a much greater expectation for them to actually win right now.
And here we go. So without further ado, folks, we're going to go ahead and just hop into the draft. You can see it's already developed pretty nicely here in the early first phase. Bans for Polar. They get rid of that troll and that jug that we've been seeing so much. Ninjas in pajamas. They get rid of the dazzle. They get rid of that pesky puck and the AA. But they have somehow managed to sneak themselves that wisp. So now picking up the wisp plus Witch Doctor. On the other side, we got Brew and Vengeful Spirit.
All right, so the Witch Doctor picked up pretty immediately as that kind of Brewmaster pseudo counter with the Karks. And I think it's kind of a hard spot for NiP to be in. If they wanted to go for the Wisp Tiny, the Tiny gets banned out now, but the problem is if they go Wisp Tiny, it's not the best against the Brewmaster. They wanted some way of actually at least coping with him to some extent. It's not like a full counter. End of the day, Brewmaster still will get his split off, still could get multiple Cyclones off, Boulder Tosses off in the game, but they're prioritizing this over the Tiny, which does suggest that they recognize this is going to be a problem hero for them.
I was really surprised yesterday in their series against VP.Polar when they did grab the Wisp that, not VP.Polar, against the Power Rangers, that Power Rangers did not ban the Tony. They allowed it to go through, and Era was like, oh, I'm more than happy to take it. It's like my best hero. Let's make it happen here. But now with it being banned, there's plenty of other options to work with. The first one that stands out to me, and because it's Era, is Chaos Knight. He did have a really solid performance during the TI4 qualifier group stage, did that amazing glimpse dodge, and just overall was just very impressive. And I know we don't see a whole lot of Chaos Knight, and I could be dreaming of that, and there's plenty of better options, but just a hero that I feel like we don't see enough of, but who knows, right? Who knows?
You know what comes to mind for me? These teams are both dirty, filthy Slark pickers. Illidan as well as Era. Oh, they love them some Slark, you know?
They certainly do.
This is... I mean, Illidan Antimate just taken out. He does have other heroes. There's the Slark ban. Okay, so... Era's just been performing phenomenal in Slark. He's got, I mean, we talked about his KDA being the best of any player or carry player or any role of the tournament, and he plays these kind of elusive, hard-to-kill carries like Slark to accomplish that a lot of the time.
Not just a high kill rate on Era. He also has one of the low. Actually, I think he has the lowest death average, like 2.2 deaths. It's ridiculous. Like Universe is like one of the other players I know that's notoriously good at not dying or feeding over any sort of unnecessary death.
They're targeting Era with these bans. 4 bans, pretty much all at Era right now.
And there's going to be the Disruptor. This support has been very popular at this tournament. Great at setting up plays. That glimpse certainly works nicely against the Wisp as well. So another direct counter right there. So Asus got to be feeling very confident with the early parts of this draft. They're just really taking it right back to the Ninjas in Pajamas, maybe just not letting them feel too comfortable here. But this is something that they should have expected coming into. They're going to be picking up the Wisp and now being immediately denied from any potential from their, star player. They should just expect this and look to build around it.
Is the Veno coming? Like, I mean, we talked about the Veno being a 8-mother special, but no Veno just yet. It's going to be a Bristleback to pair with the Wisp, and curious to see if this is going to be Era's hero or something they look to put in the off lane for Jonas, but very good hero to have with a Wisp. This hero is hard enough to kill on his own, but chuck a Wisp in there with Overcharge and the heals from Tether.
Yeah.
Oh boy, good luck with that.
Yeah, you may think this naturally this is a hero who can kind of just get in the mix. He loves prolonged fights and just kind of can be the meat and the tank for the team, but surprisingly can really develop into a true late game. If you're able to get him all those items together, he can really be a nuisance. I remember distinctly there was a game Alliance had played with a Wisp and Bristleback, and that was very significant. Lotus Bristleback was dominant. Asus.Polar, though, very familiar with the Bristleback. In their 3-game series during the DAC going against Empire, All 3 games, Empire picked up Wistoni, and all 3 games, Illidan picked up the Bristleback. So this is not a hero that they're not familiar with. They know exactly if it's going to be a core position Bristle, what to expect. Here comes the Axe now. What a surprise. Back in the day, it was like, oh my goodness, a spicy pickup Axe. Now it's like, okay, there's an Axe available, someone's going to take it.
Yep. The Red Hulk comes out once more. I like this against Bristleback. I don't think it's picked just for the Bristleback, but being able to use the call to turn him around so he can't just rely on that passive to negate a lot of the incoming damage. They haven't actually got that much damage up right now. That's severely lacking in this Asus.Polar side. Both supports aren't really high DPS. Whatever their last pick is here, Illidan's hero, I feel needs damage output. Be it something like a Morphling that goes for like the mid-game shotgun, something to actually bring down heroes. Maybe it's going to be something like a Shadow Fiend even as like a second core to go with the Brewmaster. But yeah, right now they're severely lacking as far as actual kill potential.
I don't mean to like put you on the spot and get into like really the Dota nerd lore, but I know Axe and Disruptor are of the same race or the same species, I guess you could say.
They've got similar facial structure.
I can't remember what the name of it is. And I know there's some viewers out there who really know, but they are of the same, like, I don't know what the proper, like species, race, exactly. Like they're from the same group. And I believe there's even one other, maybe even Troll Warlord is the other one. But yeah, they're all red-faced, but I'm sure they're, it was something that look out. So funny to say. Ninjas in pajamas, though, as they go into the final kind of picking era here. Already having the support lockdown, Bristleback. You mentioned the Venomancer could work very nicely. I mean, both Brew and Axe more dependent on being able to get a good Blink Dagger initiation. And could work nicely, but suddenly a Starladder shows up.
Now we're talking.
I believe this is the first Starladder of the Starladder LAN, too.
Yep. And Hero Era has pulled out a few times, I want to say. I've definitely seen one game with him on the Starladder or with NiP playing it, and God, that fella's ugly. Look at that model. Whew.
I know. Come on.
He needs
let's get it together. This guy needs a beauty makeover. Absolutely.
He reminds me of like a Pokemon from like, we're talking Pokemon Red here, Red Blue, because this is not a good model, but he's got the little lantern coming out of his head. Like this is very retro.
A lot of man fight I'm looking at in this draft. A lot of melee man fight. Like these guys are all looking to duke it out. And he's able to kind of go in those long-winded fights like Bristleback as well. And mind you, Starladder has received some pretty nice buffs in recent patch time. First and foremost, his amp damage cooldown was reduced significantly. It's 5 seconds across the board, so you can get off 1, 2, 3 a lot during any sort of team fight. His sprint cooldown was reduced.
4 or 5 was the number you were looking for, by the way.
4 or 5?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5.
What did I say?
You said 1, 2, 3 or a lot.
1, 2, 3, more than
just looking to help you out here. I'm teasing.
But thanks, dude.
You were so confused there. I was like
numbers.
I was just taking the piss.
Yes, I'm a Dota caster, not a mathematician here, please.
That's what Ben's here for. He's the numbers guy.
His sprint, let's go into more numbers, though. Let's see if I can embarrass myself further. Sprint, the cooldown was also reduced. It's only 23 seconds, which might be just enough time to sprint your way from the fountain to the lane and be able to have it at the ready once more. Before, you're kind of risking, like, you get to the lane, you still could be having sprint on, you could still take a lot of damage. But now, being able to use it to just access more farm and get across the map a little bit more swifter certainly can bring in a lot more farm over
with that spell, it's like how much downtime there is. There's only like a 6 or 7 second difference between the duration and the cooldown, so there's no reason not to just spam it. If you're going from camp to camp, okay, you take additional damage. 15% additional damage. If you have it on while you're neutraling, it's not the biggest deal. End of the day, you want to just farm as quickly as possible.
It's 7 seconds, Godz. 7. You want to get on me on numbers, Godz? There you go.
Thank you very much.
7. I did the math right there. 14, 16, 23, carry the square.
Yep.
Yeah. So now we're going to go into the final pickups here. Final bans there. Asus.Polar actually banned out. Oh, my goodness.
They're the ones picking Chaos Knight.
Well, that's not what I was expecting.
Tanky man fighters.
I was percolated about Chaos Knight, but I wasn't expecting it to be on the Polar side of things. But hey,
so
man fight continues to develop here. What a melee slugfest.
Yeah, a lot of damage output. This hero got buffed a lot with the Reality Rift especially. The ultimate, you can get rid of an amp damage. I mean, a small little reason to be picking this hero. It's definitely not. They're not looking at this like, oh, what's a hero that can dispel amplify damage? What's a good carrier? It's like Chaos Knight. He's got this ulti, but obviously 2-minute cooldown. So not much AOE at all. They've got very little to deal with these illusions. They've got a crush. They've got Bristleback with the quill sprays, but it's once you get a couple items on this Chaos Knight, his images are going to do a lot of damage. Here we go though. Ember Spirit. There's your illusion clearer.
So I'm really curious here. Now we're dealing with a Chaos Knight that's typically not with his partner, the Wisp. And is it a problem? Do we need this Wisp to make Chaos Knight what he is? Does he suffer without having the benefit of a Wisp, I guess I'm trying to say, in this game? Or do you think he'll be able to kind of persevere, push on through? You got that RNG factor, of course, with his ultimate. You got great pushing power if you're able to get into the base, but you know, he can be a bit questionable as far as being able to really close the gap and get a lot done without being kited too much.
Yeah, I think the Asus.Polar idea was we don't want to have our tri-lane lose to a dual lane, because NiP are likely to run a Wisp Bristleback in the off lane with like a Starladder Witch Doctor dual lane, and Wisp Bristleback can beat a lot of tri-lanes. They needed a lot of good kill potential with their tri-lane. You've got a Blink Initiation from a Chaos Knight, you've got dual stuns with a Glimpse back. Every hero in their tri-lane offers something as far as killing, and this is where I think Wisp Bristleback have to be very careful if they are going to go for that kind of pesky dual lane in the off lane. They may have to reconsider NiP, do something like a tri-lane with the Witch Doctor, do something else as far as these lanes are concerned, rather than just a straight-up dual lane top, because this tri-lane for Asus.Polar doesn't get any scarier than this, really.
All right, folks, here we go. Our final series here for day number 2. It's going to be this upper bracket matchup between the Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Asus.Polar. And I'll go ahead and lead out your introductions here. On your dire side, it's going to be none other than Asus.Polar, formerly known as VP.Polar. Illidan going to be playing your Chaos Knight. Right behind, we're going to have Lil Hardy. He's going to be playing your Vengeful Spear. I'm going to try to make this quick because FNG playing your Disruptor. To look at the cross paths here. Oh, man, they're making me nervous. Got a lot of movement coming out here. They're going to scout each other, but they're just helping each other, and they're going to block out the small camp. Mid lane for Polar, it's going to be DK Phobos on that Brew. And on the bottom, it's going to be Mag playing that Axe.
30 seconds.
All right, well, on the Radiant side, the Swedish squad, the Ninjas in Pajamas, going to be running Jonas on the Starladder. It's going to be Hanskin on the Witch Doctor support. We'll see Era playing the Ember Spirit, Silkid on the Wisp, and he's going to be partnering up with Ape Mother, who's on the Bristleback. So some slight possible role switching coming out. Looks like Era may be going to be going mid with this Ember Spirit.
Ooh, the gangs, they see each other. Who's coming onto whose turf? Cask going to fly out. They're a bit congested, so the Cask will do a little bit of work, and it's enough space to allow Io, or Io, I guess if you're going to be Merlini about it, grabbing up that early bit of bounty.
That's always good to secure a room with the Wisp, because it gets that level 1 bottle, doesn't tie up the Curry if your mid laner maybe wants it in a minute or two, and just means you don't have to worry about like the Courier coming out, getting sniped, or any kind of shenanigans. So bottle right off the bat, and it will be a dual lane versus tri-lane. I'm really curious to see how this goes down at top lane, because this tri-lane, the Chaos Knight I feel like was picked almost entirely to be able to beat this dual lane.
And we'll see how it develops here. No surprise, they knew that they'd blocked out that camp immediately. They de-ward it. Camp's going to be at the ready. And FNG ready to make that pull happen. Love the Mega Man helmet, by the way, on Disruptor. One of my favorites.
He's doing things right here. He's off to a good start. Gets the pull and also has the Mega Man helmet.
The style points, they're just as important, Godz.
All right.
Mid lane, though, Ember taking on the Brew. How do we feel, guys?
I think it's slightly Brew favored to me. It's pretty even. They both farm. Brew just against the low armor of Era. Like, you can just kind of clap and give him right clicks every now and then. But Era should be fine. He shouldn't die unless there's support ganks or anything like that. But
eating pretty early harassment right now is Era. But obviously, it's Brew going right for that bottle rush. It looks like the Courier, or the Chicken, rather, already on the way.
Bottom lane, Mag getting a lot of farm, though. He's managed to come in, steal a creep wave and a medium pull.
Uh-oh. They're making it go top lane. FNG, the early goo. I love the value goo. FNG so low, but the kinetic field blocks him in pace. The glimpse back also creates that space, and now it's going to be the Wisp that's going to be dropped. What a great turnaround coming out from Polar.
Goo is not going to help you here.
Oh, well, I like the early value point. Level 1, level 2, I don't know. Level 1, maybe no. You need the quills, I'd feel, at least to lead things off. But
I don't think they were expecting FNG to be making those 2 kinetic fields in a row, doing huge damage here. They killed Mag at the bottom lane, though.
Ooh, good
Jonas and Hanskin, that's an important kill, considering Mag was already getting a lot of farm and XP there. I still think Mag's going to be like, okay, shouldn't have died, but he's level 3.5. He's got 12 CS. He's actually owning it up in the off lane.
Yeah.
Even with that death, I'd say he's off to a great start.
Very, very good. But also NiP able to benefit from that
Top lane, they're going to get stun on Ape Mother.
Oh, man, it just doesn't stop. Already off to the races here. Both squads, Ape Mother trying to go toe-to-toe. Kinetic field going to be dropped, and Ape Mother goes down again. They're going to go right for EO, and he's going to drop. A top lane slaughter continues here for Asus.Polar.
Chaos Knight, Dota. This hero just wrecks in the lane, especially with a nice support hero like this Disruptive Venge is given. And the lanes are falling apart. This is where that value point in Goo works if you get first blood. Now, he doesn't have any points in the passive. That one skill point is really costly when you can't go for this passive plus Quill Spray only build. It's just one less point you have for defensive capabilities. He's going to have to go for like a 1-1-3 build now if he wants to stay alive, and that's 1 point in Quill Spray is not really going to do too much damage. He may just look to level it up and play ultra safe, but it's really hard. Bristleback top lane.
Trying to make a go onto Phobos and gets the kill done with the benefit of Wisp. Very nicely done. Laid out with those chains. There was nowhere for Brew to go.
That's the kind of kill which Asus.Polar. I think the Axe is like, okay, he got a lot of farm in CS. Doesn't matter that he dies, but the mid lane Brewmaster dying, not something they'll be happy to see.
Already off to a very hot and heavy 2 kill per minute kind of a rate. Action pack from top to bottom here. Mag makes his return back to bottom lane, very close to getting hold of those Tranquils, and for your Starladder also nursing a bit of gold. We'll see what kind of style and way he wants to itemize this Starladder. You know, armlet, something they casually throw out, but prioritizing getting a hold of the mobility and the blink dagger, I'm sure, is first and foremost.
Yep. Well, we'll see Axe now. Tranquil boots up, so should not be dying anytime soon at this bottom lane, and we'll continue to get good CS. 18 CS. Axe is up there as the top CS. Okay, some of those are medium creeps. He killed some like little purging Satyr creeps, but it's still good farm for an Axe.
And you can see now the momentum from mid lane Era and Phobos racing towards that top rune to spawn in about 8 more seconds, but FNG is also on the way. Era might need to be a little bit careful here.
Yes.
And he actually immediately pulls back. They're going to allow them to get that rune. Bottom, though, is going to be taken from NiP. It looks like Wisp is going to be able to scout it out, fill up his bottle. It's going to be another bounty for him.
All right, 8 Mother at top, just trying to hide in these trees and get some XP, but here come the 2 supports. If they find him, 8 Mother's dead. Okay. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly where he is.
Oh, man, they could scout him out here. Waving actually all the way forward to scout him out.
Yeah, move on through. 8 Mother.
So close yet so far. He's safe.
Oh, my.
He's got 10 charges. But
they won't save him if you
get
it. Just a magic missile. You got kinetic field. You got 2 points in glimpse. Venge is still looking.
I know the second I look away, they're going to scout him out and make the go.
All right.
Just like a vulture.
You can go venture. I'll keep an eye on this top
lane.
lane.
They're probably looking at the side like, he's getting levels. Where is he? He's definitely getting XP somewhere. But this is a nice little nook he's found for himself to kind of hide out for now. I'll let you keep eyes up there, I guess, to see if they eventually find him. Because bottom lane, they're trying to make a shift. A little bit of harassment here from the Witch Doctor onto Mag, but Mag is happy to take in all that damage. He's 24-4 in this off-lane Axe.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic. Magic Stick now picked up as well. Maybe at level 6 they can kill him. I think that's when it gets dangerous for Axe. Amp damage is going to be the difference maker.
Might want to go again on Phobos. Throws out the chains. Immediate rotation to come. The support
bottom
is there
lane, though,
Lil.
they've gone in on Mag.
Oh, man.
Trying to man fight with Jonas.
They make Mag go down. And back on mid lane, they didn't finish off anyone there. But good grab right there. Mag is going to drop for the second time. So even though Mag continues to get a lot out of that off lane, he is handing over a couple of kills now to the other side.
Yeah. That kill, Starladder now up to 800 gold and going to hit level 6, so this lane gets even more dangerous. I think this is where Mag may transition into the jungle just to try to farm that Blink Dagger. They can give the off lane to someone like a Disruptor or someone to just try to leech XP if it pushes out, but Mag needs a Blink. That's kind of the next objective for Asus.Polar.
Looks like FNG is going to go on stack duty here, building him up here on the side, even chop down the tree. Oh, with the wave right there, they're going to try to go for the double stack. Very nicely done. And that will certainly help out, like you said, Mag to build towards that Blink Dagger. Io, another bounty run for him. This guy is bringing in some serious bounty booty. It's 3 straight times this game.
Illidan has his Midas, by the way, on the Chaos Knight, so going for a less fighting. We talked about a lot of fights happening early on, but he wants levels. He wants to get the multiple points in spells as soon as possible.
Kinetic field is going to be there, and here comes Vengeful Spirit. They're looking to go for a counter initiate. A lot of damage, though, onto Phobos, and Era, now being level 6, able to hop to the other side.
I'll leave a Fire TP home. This Ember Spirit, 0 downtime hero. This is partly why he's so popular among some of the teams. Well, less so the CIS European teams, but we're seeing him here picked up by NiP. Just the fact that you have so little time spent out of lane.
I wanted to watch him zip back to lane. It's always fun. Goes right on back. Yeah, top lane, it's been quiet since the early bloodshed, but Illidan, like you said, getting a lot out of it with that Midas already. Where do you take it from here on your Chaos Knight? It's been quite a while. Maybe I'm a bit rusty with your item build. Another hero kind of similar to Starladder where maybe you go for the...
going on Lil.
There they go.
Wow.
They get it done.
Wow. That nuke damage. Got rid of the flame. Got in the glimpse. Oh. Going to catch Silkid.
Very nicely done. Thunder Strike. One more smack right there, and Phobos is going to get the second kill. Polar. Grab another couple there in the mid lane, pushing ahead now 6-3.
Jeez, they're cleaning up all over the place. Chaos Knight with a solo kill on your Bristleback. Pop the Phantasm to help bring that one down, to bring the kill on the Bristleback, and Bristleback just not respecting the solo kill potential of this Chaos Knight, who looks to be going possibly for an armlet with this Helm of Iron Will pickup. Helm of the Dominator not bad on this hero as well. Helm of the Dominator just seems good on any kind of carry nowadays, but armlet was like your traditional CK item.
And there you see Mag. He will be farming up the jungle, about 1,200 gold, getting closer and closer towards that Blink Dagger. Certainly will help out. And Phobos, who's going to wait out for the 8-minute rune, will be able to snag that one up. He's got about 1K gold. We'll see if he decides to go for maybe the Arcanes early on to have that extra bit of mana before he builds into that Blink Dagger. The Brew, if he's able to build up that early Blink, that's when he can really ball out of control. And this kind of game is certainly working out for him. We'll see if he's be able to set the stage as we approach the mid-game here. And NiP, they're getting a lot out of the bottom lane right now, but the other two lanes certainly going in the favor of Polar.
Yeah, Chaos Knight with crazy, crazy farm. And mid lane, Phobos, he's not looking at going to be having a ridiculously fast blink, but he'll be at a decent enough time. He's got protection right now with the Venge Lil lurking nearby, and even looking at Lil, he's got an urn already on his Vengeful Spirit. There's a lot of farm going the way of some of these supports on the Polar side.
Certainly so here. It's going to help out to have this Vengeful Spirit if he wants to decide to build right into the Medallion, allow them to get that Roche sooner than later, being on that dire side.
Let's get some Vanguards up. Jonas gets his Axe, only 300 gold away from his one, so with a lot of fighting, with a lot of tanky melee heroes, well, let's just beef up even more with these Vanguards.
Right? So they're definitely going to be swinging here. These are going to be real long fights, I feel. And that's where Bristol really does shine. Can help out here. Steps back, and he's going to start working with this Ancient Camp, it looks like. And Era, so already got his Phase Boots. Probably looking to build into those drums. Actually an Aquila here. Looks like he's got built up in his stash as he bullies back DK Phobos. Vengeful Spirit is there, though. You don't want to be overextending yourself.
Yeah, I think he got the scouting information that Venge was behind, but end of the day, he's sitting here alone, doesn't have a TP, can't really rotate to other lanes, so Era's forced to kind of play this more passive style in the mid lane. Doesn't have supports coming his way. His team's just kind of looking to recover elsewhere in the map, get some stacks going, and Era, this is I guess we're a bit before where Ember Spirit really needs to fight. Once you get that like 15-minute mark, that's where Ember Spirit is kind of looks to peak around that level 10, level 11 mark, but for now, it's Asus.Polar kind of controlling the tempo.
Oh, God, the Glimpse going to be pulled back here. 8mother going to be in big trouble. Illidan moves on in, relocate, trying to come and save with the help of Starladder. They're looking to make a turn back, at least some sort of counter kill. 8mother still doing good, looking to truck right towards Disruptor, and they take down Illidan. Look at the turn back coming out from ninjas in pajamas.
Holy moly, that relocate. 8mother still just barely surviving, not for long.
They do get one.
It's the one they were hoping to get a whole lot easier.
Uh-oh. Brew joined the party here, and they're pressing on forward. The cast is going to land. Amp damage does fly out. How long do they want to go before the respawns come back? And even Mac now looking to interject here. Long range tether going to take them right to the low ground right there, but the Glimpse is going to send them all the way back into a dunk. Beautifully set up. What an assist from FNG. Static Storm now going to be dropped, and they're going to get the call out there on Starladder. Here comes Era. Everyone getting on this top lane party. Big stun. Catches out onto Era. Continues to dish out damage. The Immolation Bird coming out from the Flame Guard. Doing a lot of damage there on the Mag, but Mag able to pull back at this point. Era goes to low ground to get away from this one, and it doesn't stop yet. 8mother back from the dead. Gets back on in, throws out the Gill. And now, there goes Starladder. Gets out the stun again. Very nicely done. Illidan's going to go down for a second time straight, and now they turn on to Phobos. Era dishing out. Oh, the dunk not going to be able to catch him. Mag will be dropped from 8mother.
Flying into a DD Ember Spirit. What a disaster.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're not done yet.
Stop. Boom. Slam. Return fire.
Well, Bristleback, top tier 2 tower.
Just doesn't stop here. 8mother keeps diving, gets another grab, a double kill.
Which of these is the CIS team again? Hold on a second.
I'm getting pretty sweaty right now, guys. Ooh. This is crazy.
These guys need to just take a chill pill here. Oh my golly
There
gosh.
was like a brief calming period for a nice like 2-3 minutes, and then shit just went crazy. I don't mean to be so blunt about it, but it was just really all over the place. Illidan died twice. During that whole long-range rumble. 8mother died, came back, got a double kill for himself. Uh-oh. And he's going to probably go down again. Gets glimpsed all the way back. FNG trying to hit him, but 8mother's like, let's go, boy. And Well, he can't obviously pull the candle there to FNG. Actually almost gets dropped, but 8 Mother will eventually go down. These teams are just ready to make fisticuffs.
Yeah, Illidan dying twice really costly. I think even the first time he died with his Midas like up and he off cooldown, and then he respawned, TP back in, and still didn't use his Midas. He just went like 2 minutes without using his Midas while it was up. So a lot of lost farm, and just in general, he's going to look at this and be like, okay, guys, that didn't go so well. I'm still one of the more fun tiers in this game, but I should be really far ahead considering how well the laning stage went.
9-12, at about 13 minutes in. Very action-packed here to begin the closeout to day number 2 at Starladder.
Yeah.
As the top of the net worth now going to be claimed from Starladder. Man, he got off some serious stuns in those engagements. Always it seemed like a 2-man catch, and now he's got his Blink Dagger.
That Wisp Ladder showing up was huge for them. Era as well coming at the right time with a DD rune. He didn't really have full confidence there. Like, he could have got like another kill or two when he Fire Remnant out. If he'd used it aggressively, he would have got the kill on the Axe. And then he still had the mana for a second Fire Remnant to escape, but just having a DD rune and coming in, this is like Ember Spirit's the best timing you could have for an Ember Spirit. 12, 13 minutes, you've got all your spells pretty high level, you've got a DD rune. That is just the ideal time for NiP to fight.
8 Mother feels pretty confident strutting his stuff in this lane. Even if they try to make an engagement on him, they got that relocate factor there on the bottom lane, and that could very well happen. And here it comes, that relocate. 8 Mother trying to stand as long as possible. They come in, and, well, this time it might be too much for them. Though, here comes Brew. Era also getting on the action, catches on 2. They're barely alive right now. Slardr's good. Wisp has to say peace. Goes back to the bottom lane. They're going toe-to-toe here. Mag ends up dropping, but so does Slardar. Now on the way out, Lil could be caught. Era looking to cut him down, and will decide to jump back. Witch Doctor needs to get out of here, but gets clapped. And DK Phobos picks up the kill right there. Big fight.
Yeah, big fight indeed. They stopped focusing the Wisp. Again, a weird decision there. They had the Wisp really low and just kind of lost focus on him, but end of the day, Asus.Polar still had the perfect Static Storm. That is how you want to deal with this Wisp. When they're relocating in, you leave that Static Storm ready for them coming in. FNG can't use it to start the fight or to silence even someone like an Ember Spirit. He needs to wait for the relocate and just dump it on where the Wisp is relocating in.
It was pretty predictable what was happening there with 8 Mother kind of taunting them a little bit, being in that lane, confidently strutting them stuff forward, and they relocated so quick the second they knew. It's as if they had eyes on the lane the whole time, but this time they had so much numbers, and speaking of numbers, here comes some more rotations. Top lane, we've seen plenty of bloodshed, and it might not stop. Mag going to get slowed down, forced to pull out the call area to get that little bit of extra bonus armor. Stun's going to be there from the Witch Doctor. Kinetic Field, swap back. Nice little save from Lil, but he might end up dropping regardless. That early value, Maldic is able to rip him down. It's going to be a twofer for NiP, and they're not done yet. Pushing on forward with that Blink Dagger. They're trying to get a hold. Jonas, Illidan now going to get locked, and they'll bring him down. Wow, 3-man drop. Back the other way. Back and forth we go in these fights.
They just go diving. You get the amp damage on heroes, and that Quill Spray does so much damage from the Bristleback. This is a scary, scary draft. Even stuff like the Slider Fist from the Ember Spirit, everything just being amped up by Slardar.
Here comes Slardar, speaking of the devil, right in the mid lane. DK Phobos does not have his split, 30 more seconds, and he is not going to be able to get away. He goes down, 8 Mother with a killing spree. Wasn't he just taken down in the top lane not too long ago, and now quickly he's on a killing spree? This is ridiculous. Now he has a mechanism, and he's going to farm up some ancient stacks.
The Swedes are playing some crazy aggressive Dota today. This is crazy stuff. Bristleback, who started off with such a poor start, is 7-6-4. He's been involved in a lot of the action. He's been the bait for this team. While the offlane didn't start well for him, the mid game has gone fantastic. He's set up so many good team fights for the NiP squad.
And I feel like Asus.Polar is a team who normally can play very, very aggressive, especially someone like Illidan. Can be almost a bit of a recluse at times, trying to go in and get so bloodthirsty, but this whole NiP squad is all about getting into some big engagements, and maybe that could be a bit off-putting here for Asus.Polar, and maybe a bit of their weakness. For now, it seems to be working quite a bit here for NiP, and at the point where maybe Polar are like, guys, let's take a moment to breathe. We got to get some items underway. We got to take some time to just get some farm.
Yeah, especially against Slardar. The amp damage is making these 3 tanky cores, CK, Axe, and Brewmaster, look like paper. You get the amp damage on them, and Ember Spirit and Bristleback, they just go to town with their physical damage.
Now looking to bully down this mid lane here. Polar would love to get this tier 1 tower. It's already so low. The glyph has already been used, but here come the rotations. They want to fight. Jumping in is Phobos first and foremost. Gets the clap. Trying to focus fire down the Witch Doctor. Pulls out the split. Witch Doctor should be dropping here momentarily. Going to get chopped right on the head right there from Mag.
Comes relocate.
Now, Cyclone going to be catching on 8 Mother. There's that relocate. They drop that Static Storm right on top of the Wisp and immediately blow him up. Now Starladder could be focused. Does get out the stun. Could chop down Lil. It's going to be 8 Mother who does sweep on through and get it. The stun's going to catch out here. Jonas, okay, trying to go to the high ground. Meanwhile, you can see FNG is going to drop right there. The Disruptor, they're looking to turn back onto Mag. The right click's coming out here. That minus armor, man, does so much work. And they're going to move on to Phobos.
Oh
Ninjas in pajamas looking to put Virtus
minus
Polar
18 armor when he dies.
The
Holy
goo,
crap.
The amp damage, the goo, it works out so nicely that they can go into absolute man mode.
No one on the Asus.Polar just stays alive. Now they're going to get themselves an Aegis. This Roshan will drop in no time at all. Amp damage comes in. They've got the goo spam. Roshan down to negative 18 armor, negative 20 armor, negative 22 with another goo, and this is just brutal stuff. As Asus.Polar can't even get back in time to contest this.
We all had counted out Ninjas in Pajamas coming into the series, but my God, they are putting up a fight. Very early in this match, but man, they are really strutting their stuff. Not backing down one bit. Know that they might be coming into this one as the underdogs. They're fighting, though. Look at this. Starladder, screw that tier 1. I'm going right behind for FNG. He dives so deep for this one. Forces out the kinetic field. The glimpse will be back, but he's still okay.
He may look to re-blink in. FNG, one crash and he's dead. He's got the Aegis, but says, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just take the towers. These are just as important as getting a support kill.
Can we just breathe for a second here? Man, oh man.
NiP aren't about that life.
Certainly not. They do end up taking down
Top
that tier 1
lane,
tower, but
relocate in. They want the Illidan, and Illidan
throws out the stun. Gets Starladder, and now he's like, I got to get the hell out of here, but they quickly catch up.
Yeah.
Link stuns there, and look at the damage, the minus armor. Chop, chop, chop.
Armlet toggling.
Man.
The bash, stopping the armlet toggle, well, the turn for the stun, and Jonas going to get one more.
Oh, here comes 8 Mother right from the south. Vengeful Spirit, nowhere is safe. Another Jonas. They call him Jonas as fuck for a reason. Double kill for him.
Oh, meanwhile, Eric, bottom
God,
lane.
he is still going deep.
God.
Come here, FNG. I got you next. Four hits is all it takes. Triple kill for Jonas. Unbelievable. I have not seen such a manly Starladder. Wow.
I'm speechless at this point. This Starladder pick has just been incredible. This is just a draft which has come together perfectly. It works so well together. You've got the Wisp to just heal people up and force Asus.Polar to, like, we don't really want to focus the Wisp, but we kind of have to, and that just creates so much space for Starladder to just go Ramboing in. The amp damage just synergizes fantastic with not just Starladder himself, but the Ember Spirit and Bristleback. And we haven't even seen the Witch Doctor come into play, but Death Ward is even more physical damage. So this entire lineup has just physical damage all over it, and they're destroying what looks like a tanky Asus.Polar three-core hero.
I can't help but feel like this is something that Ninjas in Pajamas have pre-formulated. Maybe a draft they had ran once before or had just brainstormed.
Oh, Mag in trouble. Relocate by the Ancients.
They moving forward. He's going to get taken down if not careful, and they're just going to quickly rip him apart. FNG also in trouble, will go down already. 2 hit the deck here.
And Slarddar's blinking past towers again.
Yep, and meanwhile, you can see Illidan and Bristle looking to trade, but yep, back behind enemy lines. Phobos going to be forced to pull out the split. Jonas just wants support blood. This time he might have gone a bit too far, though he does have that Aegis. He will come right back, does get off a nice stun. And they're still keeping him alive. The Wisp is still right in it. He is still fighting. Does get dropped right there. And double kill, though, for Era. 4 more go down. It is quickly turned into a slaughter in favor of NiP, and they are trying to get a 5-man wipe, and they will be able to get it right here. Get over here, and it is done. Unbelievable.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Now they go to the mid lane, and they will get this tier 2.
Absolutely fantastic draft, fantastic play. The Swedes have shown up today. They're saying, look, this is a tournament we want to win. We're going to bring our best Dota to Starladder to Kiev, and after a shaky I-League in China, their next big LAN tournament, well, it's a whole nother team showing up here.
This is just a day of the underdogs looking to come back and fight, whether it's Fire, whether it's MVP Phoenix. Now Ninja's in pajamas, man. Look at him go. Right into the base. The tier 3 is going to go down. And the Thrax now.
You just can't fight into this.
What do you do? Mag's like, I don't have a blink. I can't jump in there. What do you guys want me to do? Illidan, desperate, pulls back Jonas, gets a stun off, and then walks away.
Well,
swap back, though. They might be able to focus fire him, but Wisp jumps in immediately, looks to heal him on up, and it's going to be a man fight into the home base. This time Jonas will be taken down. The chop's not going to be there, but 8 Mother right in behind, trying to get redemption. Mag going to be slowly withered away here from the right click. Era looking to get in. There's your death ward. It is going to get Hans get a kill right there. A killing spree for him now. FNG going to be dropped with that slide of fist. Mega kill also for Era. And Illidan. Reality Rift on the 8 Mother, not taking much damage, and Era slashes him down. Double kill for him. Goes back in. Lil Hardy, desperate to make his way back into the fountain, will be able to. And a step back. They do manage to take down 3 of NiP. Era also could be in trouble here.
Yeah, he's trying to. What's the escape plan here? And he's quickly realizing, there isn't really one.
Illidan does get that kill.
They got the range tracks, not the melee. They lose 4. That was an expensive fight for them. It was 2 buybacks, though, but it's still a 4,000 gold swing going the way of Asus.Polar on the team fight recap. So 2 buybacks well worth the exchange there from the Asus side. But hey, range racks, T3 towers, NiP are like, we're taking objectives right now. We're still looking pretty damn good.
All right, well, if you're Polar, where do you go from here? We do have the ultimate orb now up on Illidan.
They still have no blink on Mag. That's been the thing that's been most crippling for them. He had this Vanguard at a pretty decent time, but then Asus.Polar made the decision to fight, and that was with like Chaos Knight going for a Midas play. Mag not having a blink yet, they were not well equipped to take those team fights, and NiP just punished them for it. This is where this Midas on CK is probably being one of Illidan's regrets right now. Similarly, just Asus.Polar in general, just fighting without the blink. It's been very costly for him.
We'll see if this is going to be a point now where NiP look to hold up on the aggression a little bit. Or not. They could just look to kind of continue to take the pedal to the metal and finish what they started in the mid lane, but
I think they keep the aggression up. They lost that fight because Starladder got pushed really far forward, and Wisp didn't have mana for a relocate. If he had the relocate, he could have pulled the Starladder out of there. Didn't even have to relocate back to the fountain. Could have just done like a relocate outside of the enemy base to continue the siege with the racks, but Silkid didn't have mana. He tried to bottle up and just go for the overcharge heals onto the Starladder, but it wasn't enough. So there was a glimpse on him, so maybe they would have canceled the relocate, but if you time it right with the tether, you should be able to get the save.
Era gets the deny on the tower. Very nicely done, taking away that bit of gold from Polar, but they just step back and go for a smoke now. It's going to be Polar who are going to go on the aggression. It had been quite a while since the early top lane engagements that they were able to get the upper hand. And now it's going to be them looking to get a hold of something. Probably mid lane. They have their eyes on Era. He's already on the way out. It's going to be hard enough as it is to take down.
Yep, he's going to be joining up with his team at bottom lane. Top lane, Witch Doctor's like, sweet, Handskin. I'm going to get myself a ton of farm here. This is my Ag Scepter.
Aw, yeah.
300 gold away. This is a very early Ags, helped out by all the towers and Roshan, of course, but he's done well in the Witch Doctor this game.
Yeah, he uses 5 and 3 in Witch Doctor. Very much involved here. And now, after adding a bit of pressure here, they circle out. They see where Polar are. Polar had come up short with that smoke Incatept, or at least smoke movement. Maybe they're making another go. Maybe number 2 is what it takes here, as they're probably going to beeline it straight for the NiP jungle.
They don't really want a 5-on-5 fight, and that's where they're hoping they can smoke and catch someone who's kind of alone, which will be Silkid.
Uh-oh. That's a jump forward. Mag debuting that Blink Dagger, and they make quick work of that Wisp.
Yeah. Not the craziest of kills, but
and
this is a big one.
Yeah, they glimpse them all the way back, and this could be back-to-back takedowns. Relocate comes in, but it's too late. Oh, no! Oh, no. That is a buyback Wisp death.
Well, channeling his inner Jimmy there. Silkid,
I don't know what the game plan was there. I don't think there was any NiP even in the fountain at that point to go in, or maybe he was hoping to go for a quick save, hoping that 8 Mother would be able to last a lot longer.
I mean, there's nothing quick about 10 seconds, unfortunately. You get in there, and you still got to wait to get the relocate out.
Exactly.
You can overcharge him and try heal him up, but that was not the play. I guess if Starladder was in range to go blinking in and hit multiple heroes in a stun, then maybe it goes well, but that's costly, because Asus.Polar now going to get a couple towers, or at least one tower at the bottom lane to follow this, and suddenly we see a small swing. It's still very much a game in NiP's control, but that's going to just be a wake-up call. Like, wait a second, guys. This game's still very losable.
Definitely can't afford to make costly mistakes like that. And we'll see if Polar are going to use that small breath of life to get themselves back into this one. Illidan, with already that armlet, of course. Is he going right for the Scotty grab right here on your Chaos Knight with an ultimate orb? Is that going to be a Lincoln's kind of a grab?
Possible Manta style.
Oh,
with
yep.
additional illusions that you can just you get the reality from. The problem is there, Ember Spirit with Battle Fury is just cleaving off all of them, and Era's going a very DPS-centric build. He's actually got a Desolator coming as his next summon. Not an item you've seen in a long time on Ember Spirit. This was the, like when Ember was first added to CM, it was a lot of Desolator pickups, but hasn't been seen in a while. But it's very armor-centric this draft. They're all about the minus armor and physical damage, so I really like the Desolator because it applies on everyone that gets hit by the Sleight of Fist, so this Deso pickup is actually really cool with this draft.
There it is. We'll see how much it can add here. I mean, but more minus armor, I see. I imagine it's just the blatant of what it's going to be adding. It's worked so well nicely.
Great
already.
Damage output as well. It's not you don't get the cleave, you don't get the crits, which Ember Spirit does like, but minus armor alone is nice. And I think he goes even more damage. He sees his Mancel and CK and he's like, okay, I'm going to get another Battle Fury. Let's get some more cleave to deal with these illusions. And then I guess the Daedalus instead of a Battle Fury also works, but this is a very fun game to be an Ember Spirit when you're up against a CK.
And to add on top of that, your Starladder, he doesn't go for it right off the bat. He gets a hold of the Hyperstone first, but he's eventually also going to get an AC. Speaking of the Devil, AC is going to be complete, but that's on the other side. DK Phobos on his Brew, able to get all that utility online now. He's got already the Vlads and the AC for himself. They desperately needed that. Well, let me tell you. I mean, I don't even know if that's going to be enough to prevent not getting into the minus armor digits that really NiP can offer, but certainly helps.
Oh. Yeah, Jonas is saying he needed this BKB, which will help a bit in these fights, but
look at them wait right here. They're just anticipating NiP or maybe pushing this bottom lane, but they're actually busy elsewhere, farming up, smoking up in their own jungle.
Well, possibly just straight into Roshan, which is already taking a bit of damage, and that's an easy free take for NiP, but is it? Here comes Illidan leading the charge.
They do have ward on the high ground, but of course they're smoked up here. That Manta now complete on Illidan. They're going right for Roche. There's going to be the wave. They now know the jig is up.
This Roche is so low on armor.
Turn the corner. Cleave is out. Jump in. Starladder. Stun Manta, though. Quickly avoided right there. Very nicely done from Illidan. They do manage to finish out that Roche, and they actually look to engage even down the Starladder, but these illusions, you're right.
So many of them.
It's like a horseman swarm going right down the river. Whoa. Illidan on a tirade. There's the dunk.
Oh my god.
Era just gets manhandled there. Your second life also going to be immediately dropped. Veep.
Oh, Ape Mother.
Ape Mother does get a double kill right there.
I can see why Seal Kid doesn't like animals. That Chaos Knight beasting with just illusions and creatures everywhere. They were just swarming down the river. That Manta with the ultimate, I think he even got the extra illusion from the Phantasm, which you have a 50% chance to get. There was just CKs everywhere. You see just 8 CKs running, and you're just like, holy shit, what do we do? It's a stampede of Chaos Knights coming at us, and you can't get out of there. It's the Lion King all over again, and no one's saving Simba's father.
Certainly not. That is such an intimidating sight to see, just a swarm. Like, where do we even begin at this point to try to get rid of them? But, man, oh man, Polar do come out on top after they're all said and done. And what a Manta to lead things off as well. Starladder jumps in, and he just goes down. I mean, he was just a non-factor that fight. Hoping to lead things off, unfortunately, for NiP, but he just gets dropped.
Yeah.
33-29 at 30 minutes in, though, Godz. My God.
That fight, we've got ourselves a game now. With this Manta and CK, he's doing a lot of damage. He's going to pick up his next item, and probably, I guess he did die afterwards, so if he'd survived, if that Bristleback hadn't respawned and gotten, like, I think he got 2 kills after the Aegis respawn. He made that fight a lot more even than it initially looked, but now with a BKB, Ape Mother, it's going to offer even more to his team, but that was all the Aegis, that fight. Without Aegis, NiP would just team wiped and get maybe a support kill.
And we'll see here is Era just pushes out a little bit here. NiP now, it's like, okay, we definitely can't really go off the rails like we did previously. Now it's going to get a bit more strategic. We've handed over a lot to allow Polar to really come on back, and for Polar, they're like, this is our opportunity to take this game back. We have let it go for a bit. We've already lost 1 Rax in the mid lane. Now it could be our time to really shine. Ilden with 2K gold nearly here on his CK. We'll have to see what he looks to build into next. As he shifts towards the top lane, just more separation of farm. Itemization seems to be crucial from both sides.
Yeah, and that the AC for Phobos, it's one of those things you don't really notice in a fight, but that was probably partially what made NiP look so squishy. Not to mention, kept Asus.Polar alive. It's plus armor to everyone on your team, minus armor to them. They've got a gem. 8 Mother.
A-Mother,
walks
BKB
into him.
trying to go right in, relocate, also flies through. Wisp gets focus fired and dropped immediately, and now the two Bash brothers looking to go. They managed to take down the VS, and now Mag going to be focused here. Malik also going to be dropped. Mag goes down, and now Illidan, this time he doesn't have the Horseman, and he gets surrounded, and he gets taken down. 8 Mother with a double kill there. Static Storm going to be dropped on top of the Witch Doctor, who's caught in the middle. Glimpse back, puts Era back into it, and now maybe looking to go on the hunt. Phobos, no more split, no more way to get out. They've gooed him up, and they've ripped him apart. Triple kill coming out from 8 Mother.
Team fight one way, team fight the other. That's been the summary of this game. 38 kills to 30. It's been closely fought team fights, but NiP definitely with the edge as far as taking objectives go, and they're going to get melee Rex mid and even swing top lane after this.
Didn't even use the Death Ward in that fight either.
Yeah, there's a couple buybacks, but no Phantasm is kind of the bulk of this Asus.Polar damage at this stage.
It's
so
such a long cooldown, too.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah.
Those things, you see it used, you know they can go again for another engagement, and they're not going to have the benefit of all those pesky Chaos Knight illusions, and now they quickly just clear out.
2 lanes and
Two lanes, 2 racks. Holy Toledo. That
suddenly
escalated
thing gets
quickly.
hard. Yeah. You're at this kind of neck-and-neck game. Okay, NiP definitely had the farm advantage and had taken one melee racks, but you're still like, okay, as long as Asus.Polar don't lose a team fight, they're still in this game. But, oh, well, they lost a team fight as bad as you can lose it.
Yeah, I feel like we were just saying, like, okay, now both teams can itemize, take a moment to breathe, and Polar can kind of square things back up, but then it goes haywire so quick, and now they can see the damage to their home base. Now the struggle begins, trying to relieve the pressure from both of these lanes. Ilden not getting as much farm as he'd like now from these little creeps, trying to bring it back. A lot on his shoulders for this one. Mag, he may have a Crimson Guard, but even under all that minus armor, he just is as weak as paper when he goes in these engagements.
He's struggled a lot this game. The lane stage wasn't the best for him, but he got a lot of farm end of the day as far as the early game went. He did give up a couple unnecessary kills, but as it stands right now, 9 deaths, and the blink timing was just kind of what held Asus.Polar back in a lot of those early game fights.
Your AC about to be picked up, and the Shivas. A game of armor.
Man, that's a scary thought when this is going to negate a lot of the physical damage coming out of the Chaos Knight. The Shivas Guard is really fantastic. More AoE damage as well. Help bring down these illusions, and this combined with the AC coming at the same time is a very, very big items for NiP. Defending this last lane of racks is going to be a challenge, and I think an even bigger challenge because NiP are going to be waiting for Roshan most likely. They'll wait till they have an Aegis and Cheese.
They ping right in the middle of the jungle here from Polar's side. Are they going to go for an immediate jump in
Maybe
kind of a play?
Smoke. They've got the relocate, so they could just have to head there with 3 heroes.
Yeah. They have the smoke, or at least the smoke was bought there from the Witch Doctor.
They're getting the another battle free for Ember Spirit. This Ember Spirit, if he doesn't get found by Disruptor with a Static Storm, so they can burst down Ember Spirit's just going to destroy the CK illusions. Double Battle Fury, Desolator. It's at this point, that's where that last fight went really bad. The Chaos Knight didn't get the insta pick off. He instantly killed the Starladder in the previous fight, and then they immediately killed the Ember Spirit afterwards. If Ember Spirit stays on the sidelines, doesn't get caught out by the silence from Disruptor or a Reality Rift stun from the Chaos Knight, he's fine, and NiP have no way they can lose a team fight with Era kept alive.
Yeah, as if they weren't hard enough as it is. Now you got your Shivas, your AC, a new Battle Fury coming together. This is going to be NiP winding up, going for that final blow.
Yep.
Trying to hit Asus.Polar right on the chin for the good knockout in round number 8.
Who'd have thought it'd be 8 Mother, like leading the scoreboard with a 15-9 and 14 score. After his start, he went like 0-3 in lane. The Wisp Bristleback dual lane was a disaster. They got completely destroyed by Asus.Polar, but here they are, 36 minutes in, and 8 Mother's Bristleback has been like one of the key heroes for them.
Yeah, they put him right in the front of the smoke so that when he catches out, he can start dishing out the goo. They scout out. They see Ilden here in the mid lane. This could be it. They move on forward, blink and stun. The swap is going to be that they're going to save Illidan to sacrifice the Vengeful Spirit, but he doesn't go very far. They've already caught up, and the goo starts a-flying. Illidan, desperate, pulls out the Phantasm, gets 3, and, well, immediately they jump in again, get another nice stun setup. Good zoning setup from the Static Storm, but Illidan's already out. 70 seconds, no buyback. It looks like NiP are going to be able to take game number 1 here in a game where they were the underdogs.
Illidan just... He doesn't match up against this kind of a lineup. The Chaos Knight, it was the last pick as well, which is a surprise. I guess the Ember Spirit came later, but jeez, this was a rough game for Illidan. It's not really a comfort hero for him, and
very confident.
NiP had a clear strategy in mind.
They look good. They feel good.
They should after that. After a win like that, I would say this is a pretty prepared pocket strategy. I really think they wanted Asus.Polar to pick the Axe. That was something which they're like, look, we're planning on picking this Starladder. Fantastic against Axe. We're going to be able to kill him in lane, potentially with this dual lane. The Wisp Bristleback lane should have gone a lot better. That's the thing. That game went as it did, with the Wisp Bristleback lane going catastrophically wrong. They gave away the 2 kills to start things off. Things started horrible for NiP in that game, and yet still, their draft just proved to be far superior. Do
you think that it was just that because they were so bloodthirsty, especially Jonas there, just going so deep to take down those supports, did that put off the Polar squad where they're like, whoa, man, they are just bloodthirsty, and we're not ready for this. It's just such a high-octane kind of a tempo that we're not used to this.
I think Polar are used to it, but I think that was the problem. They're like, you guys want to fight early? Great, that's what we do. We fight early, but this draft was not ready to fight early. They had a Midas on Illidan. They had an Axe who was playing catch-up, so... I think VP.Polar, instead of just playing kind of sit back and farm and find pickoffs where they can, they're like, let's just play their style. Let's do what they're doing, which is just man up and keep on going in. That fight where Illidan died, immediately respawned, TP'd and died again, that to me was just the turning point. After that, NiP were just steamrolling on through, and there shouldn't have been any opportunities to come back, although Asus.Polar did have some moments where they looked good. That double death for Chaos Knight, with his Midas on as well, was just... That was it. From then on, it was just... everything else went wrong.
MVP, I'd have to say 8 Mother on that Bristleback, man. And, I mean, I don't know. I say that, but just the overall drafting synergy, I think, was just MVP.
I feel like, yeah. I mean, Hanskin, the draft from him was... Obviously, we saw them like grouped up, huddled together. It was a team draft, so I don't know if it was all his input, but I think this was definitely a drafting win. I don't think you can say one player did more than the rest. 8 Mother, I mean, looking at their laning stage, you'd say he played kind of poorly, but he made up for it later on, so... I don't think there's a single MVP here.
All right. But feeling like MVPs, I guess you could say, Ninjas in Pajamas, man. They take game number 1, and they do it in very nice fashion. It was a bloodbath of a match, and we're hoping for we're hoping for more fun action to come this way. They're looking to take it. It's now match point for them, and, well, for Asus.Polar, now it's them that need to be able to